into our set position first of all. So you just place your heels under your hips, let your hands just hang by your thighs, until your weight comes evenly into both feet. Now once you're there, in the centre, just relax and soften your knees. And then we're going to start with our pelvic tilt. So from here, you're going to tuck your tailbone under, so it flattens your lower back, and then just allow your tailbone to lift so it arches into your lower back. Now you can pop your hands on your ribs and notice that when you're moving through your lower back, your rib cage stays really, really still. Then you can take your mind to your hip bones. You can imagine that as you tuck your tailbone under, you're trying to point them up to the ceiling, and as you allow your lower back to arch, you're pointing them down towards the floor. You're going to try and breathe out with your tuck, and then breathe in to release. So as you breathe out, again, that feeling is when your pubic bone upwards towards your rib cage, and then a gentle breath in as it lowers. So again, breathing out, drawing upwards, and then a breath in to release. Now this time we're going to settle midway between those 2 points, so your hip bones face forward, and it creates that connection into our core. Keeping the ribs down, we're going to come into shoulder rolls and bring in a calf raise. So we breathe in, let the heels and the shoulders lift, and then gently breathing out and drawing the shoulder blades and the heels down. Now as you're starting to roll through the shoulders, you want to keep your neutral spine. There's that gentle tuck under at the bottom. And then just aware that as you lift your heels, your ankles don't roll apart. You're trying to keep the ankles the same distance at the bottom and at the top. And now start to feel the muscles in your mid-back as you pull the shoulder blades right down to the back of the ribs. Keeping the chin nodded in so the back of the neck stays nice and long. And then once more. And we're going to stay here. We're going to come into our side sways. So keeping your set position, just let the weight slide onto our right foot, into the centre, and then over to your left foot. Now the movement comes through the ankles and your feet stay really flat on the ground. You're still keeping your bottom tucked under, so you're trying to keep equal space between your ribs and your hips on each side. The next time we sway across to our right, we're going to lift our left heel and then the knee. Then you're going to place your foot gently down, roll onto the heel, and then sway to your left and allow your right foot to lift. Now if you want to, you can place your fingers on your hip bones so you feel that you're keeping your pelvis level as you change from one leg to the other. Now try and use the out breath as you sway and keep breathing out for your lift, because this time we're going to add some heel raises. So once you've swayed and lift the knee, we're going to hold here and we're going to calf raise. We've got 4 lifts of your heel. So breathe in to prepare and then breathe out with a lift, pushing your head up to the ceiling and gently lowering down. So you're pressing to the ball of your foot and then lowering the heel back to the floor. You're keeping your tailbone tucked under, and then you've got one more here. And then you're going to place the foot down. You're going to sway to your left, right knee lifts, tailbone's tucked, breathe in, and then out to lift. 4, and release. 3, feel like you're pushing your head up towards the ceiling and softly lowering the heel. Now we're going to add in the arms. So this time you sway to your right, left knee lifts, and then from there you can lift the arms to shoulder level and come back into your heel raises. 4, ease down. 3, take a breath in as you lower, out with a lift, breath in to ease down, out with a lift and a breath in. Again, breathing out with a lift, arms staying at shoulder level and pressing to the ball of your foot. 4, ease down slowly. 3, slow release. 2, and one more time. We're going to do that once more on each side. So as you sway to your right this time, we're going to lift the arms as we lift the heel. So you're going to breathe out, lift, keeping shoulders down, and a breath in to release. You're going to breathe out through the nose, out through your mouth, sorry, and in through your nose. And one more time. So start to feel the calves. Place your left foot down, swaying over to your left, and when you're ready, using the out breath to lift and in to lower. Now you might find it easy just keeping your arms at shoulder height, Watch, let the arms lift with each heel raise. And one last time. So we start to work there for stability through the ankles. We're going to come into our tandem stance. So we're going to place our right foot in front of our left. We're going to soften both knees and tuck under with the tailbone. Gently draw the shoulders back. Float the arms to shoulder height, keeping space between your ear and shoulder. You're going to pull your right elbow back, keeping the hips forward. You're going to then open the arm and then draw back into the centre. Changing arms, breath as the elbow draws back. Turn the head again if you can, and then squeeze back into the centre. The breath comes in through our nose, and then out through the mouth. Keeping the chin nodded in so the back of the neck stays nice and long. And trying to keep your weight evenly placed with both feet. Now we're going to do that one more time to the left. And then float your arms down and change feet. So your left foot is placed down in front of your right. Your hip bones are facing forward so you get your tailbone drawing to the heels and both knees are relaxed. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take a breath in. You're going to breathe out to lift the arms. Starting with your right arm again. A breath in to pull back and open. Now breathe out through the mouth as you come back into the centre. Your arms are just below your shoulder line. And you're still keeping the shoulder blades drawn down into the back of the ribs. So the ear and the shoulder, when you come back into centre, just line back up nicely. And try and keep the weight between both feet. You might find your back leg starts to get straighter and it starts to lock out. So try and keep the knees relaxed, and that's going to make the deeper muscles around the knees and the ankles work a little harder. And again, we've just got one more here. And then you can simply float both arms down and step your feet back under your hips. So we're going to take the feet a little wider. So your heels are underneath, just outside your hip sockets, sorry. We're going to come into our neutral spine, so we have our tuck. And we're going to move into our squats with just the arms first. We're going to breathe in, ease the hips back, keeping a neutral spine. We're going to breathe out to lift both arms, a breath in to release, and then breathing out to rise. So the hips moving first, sitting back, knees are over your toes. And again, the arms just going to go higher than the shoulders. Let's do that one more time. And then you're going to have the option to add a double heel raise as the arms lift. So this time, as you lift the arms, so you can lift both heels, and lower down, and then push through the heels to rise. So the in-breath as you sit back with the hips, the out-breath to lift the heels and the arms, in-breath to lower, and then your out-breath to rise. Now if the heel lift is too much, just stay with the arms. And we're going to do 3 at the bottom this time, just with the arms if that's for you, or with the heels. 3, and release. Breathe out with a lift, into lower, out with a lift, in as you lower, and then breathing out to rise. Back with the hips, tuck under with the bottom, out breath through the mouth, in breath through the nose. Getting lots of work through our calves this evening, and it's only just begun. Let's do 2 more sets there, and you'll feel as you repeat that for 3 times, a lot more work coming through the thighs as well. I feel the length in the neck, feel the shoulders drawing back, and then push it through the heels. Should we do it again one last time? Why not? In for a penny. Press down to the balls of the feet. One more time. And then push through both heels and rise. Give your legs a shake. So let's come into our lunges, and let's stay in a split lunge to stretch the hips, and we're going to add that calf raise back in. So if you step your right foot forward, making sure the feet are still hip distance apart. Shoulders come right above the hips, and then gently tuck under your tailbone. Now your front knee wants to stay exactly where it is, And I want you to feel that you lower your back knee to the floor, lift the arms and the heel again, lower back to your centre and rise. So again, the in-breath to sink, the out-breath to lift, in-breath to lower, and your out-breath to rise. So again, just checking on that front knee, it should go beyond your ankle. You've got knee-ankle alignment all the way through. Then feel you're almost trying to get your back shin parallel to the ground, if that feels okay for you. And now I want you to feel the stretch in your left hip, so keep gently tucking under with the tailbone. And try not to wobble over. Never a good look. Shoulders are drawing down to the back of the ribs. And you can keep drawing the shoulders down to the back of the ribs as you lift your arms. Let's try 3 at the bottom if you can. 3, and release. Keep gently tucking under the bottom. So always feeling that mild stretch through the front of the hip. And then rise. Just going to do that once more. Use the out breath when you're ready. In breath to ease down. Press into the ball of your foot. And pulling the heel up as high as you comfortably can. Then rise and step back. And give your leg a shake. Okay, so from here, just let me check on this because it's just flicking. 1 second. Just going to flick the internet over onto a different link. That's it. Don't need to get cut off midway through those. There we go. Okay, so from here we're going to come to our opposite leg now. So your left leg takes a nice long step forward. Feet at hip distance and retuck your bottom. Roll the shoulders and then breathe into lower. You're going to breathe out and lift the heel and the arms. Breath in as your heel comes to the floor and then breathe out to rise. Now what I want to focus on is maintaining a really long back. And then think about the shoulders. So when your arms lift, try not to let the shoulders come up towards the ears. As you keep on the shoulder blades down towards the back of the ribs, you're going to feel that connection in the mid-back. Then we're going to hold the bottom and we're going to repeat for 3 and lower. Keep gently tucking under the bottom. 1 more time. And then push through the front heel. 1 last set. Tailbone under, shoulders above hips. Breathing out with a lift and a soft breath into lower. 1 more time. The calves definitely getting a good workout tonight. Rise and then step back. Legs can have a little shake. Okay, let's do just a little bit of balance while we're here. You're going to have your hands on your hips to make sure your pelvis is level. You're going to step your left leg back. Now we don't want that knee to bend, so you're going to pull your kneecap up so you've got a straight leg, and you're just going to simply tip forward. So your heart is almost forward of your toes, your chin's nodded in, and you've got a line from your ear to your ankle. Drawing the belly in and taking a breath in, and then with the out breath, just a little lift of your leg. You're going to lightly tap the toe on the ground. You're going to reach right back into your toes, so you're making the leg as long and as straight as you can. And each time you lift, you're trying to squeeze the bottom, but you're trying to make sure your lower back doesn't arch. So breathe in through the nose, out through your mouth. Into lower, out with a lift. Keeping your standing knee nice and soft. Draw your shoulder blades back and down. And then this time you lift your leg. You're going to hold your leg lifted. Hamstring curl. Heel to your bottom and extend into your toes. Now if you've got something you want to hold on to, maybe a chair, where you can rest your hand really lightly on the wall. Feel your heel pulls into the bottom and then point your toe as you extend. Upper part of the leg still. And then we're going to do some donkey kicks. Just get that a little bit more work to our standing leg. So this time as your leg comes down, you're going to bring your knee forward and then you're going to push back. You're going to breathe in here and then breathe out to push back. Again, just aware that you're maintaining a neutral spine as you push back through the heel and then point your toe at the end. 4 more. 4. Out breath, nice and strong. 2. And then your last one. And then step in. And the other leg. God, it keeps turning the heating up in here. He's trying to make me sweat. Let's try on the other side. So taking your opposite leg back this time. Pull your kneecap up. Just check that front knee sits over the heel. A little tip forward and drawing the belly to the back. Just a leg lift. Take a breath in. Breathe out and squeeze the leg up. Now when you lift your leg, you're trying to keep your toes pointing down to the ground. You don't want your foot to roll out because that will twist the hips. So even if your leg doesn't lift as high, work on keeping your toes pointing down. And then really work on a strong core connection, so when the leg's lifting, back isn't moving. And then let's take it to hamstring. So lift the leg back halfway, heel to your bottom, and extend. Heel in, and then your toes out. Breathe in, and then out to extend. In through the nose, out through your mouth. Now try and keep your chin nodded in, so you're keeping the length in the neck the whole way through. Standing knees stay nice and soft. Left buttock starting to warm. Now let's come into that donkey kick. So we're going to bring the knee forward, so the knees are almost next to each other, and then push back. As you push back, press the heel, and then point the toe at the end. In, and then breathe out. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You keep your standing leg as still as possible. Keep your belly as tight as you can. 3 to finish. 3, can you get the leg a little straighter? 2, 1 more. And then step in. Give the shoulders a little release. And then from here, we're going to come into some roll downs. So I'm just going to remove my dog from my mat. Sorry, Lexi dog. Come and sit in your bed, love. Good girl. She's not one for being like to be disturbed when she's asleep. Right, let's come into a roll down. And we're going to walk our roll down into a plank. So have a little look first. We stand with knees soft and our tuck under with our bottom. We're going to tuck in the chin. We're going to roll all the way down to the floor so your hands come onto your mat. And then you're going to walk your hands forward, keeping your hands under your shoulders, nice long back. You're going to bend the elbows, push, walk back, knees soft, and then reset your spine. Let's see how it works out. So we always want to keep the hands shoulder width apart. So your knees are soft. Start from your chin, nod the chin in. Let each vertebrae gently roll forward, keeping the tailbone tucked as long as you can. Hands again, shoulder width apart. Walk your hands forward. Straighten your legs as soon as you can. Now from here, once you've got that really long straight back, if you want to, you can bring your knees down for your tricep press up. And then you can tuck under your toes, keep the legs straight, and walk the hands back. Knees are soft, and then restack through your spine. Shall we add some breath? Take a breath in. Breathe out, roll down. Slow out breath. Soft knees. And then again from here, taking a breath in as you walk forwards. Bring your body weight forwards, the shoulders are over the heels of your hands. Come into your press up, keeping the elbows close. Push through the heels of your hands. Keep the legs as straight as you can when you walk back. But soften your knees before you rise. We're just going to do 5 of those, so you've only got 3 left. Reset your posture here. And again, from the chin, nodding. Feel a movement through the neck, through your mid-back, through into your lower back. Belly lifted towards the spine, and then walk forwards, hand by hand. Make sure you walk far enough forward so you can bring the shoulders right over the heels of the hands. Option is knees down as you ease into your press up. Chest just about elbow level, and then straight legs. and walk your hands back. Knees are soft here, and then restack your spine. Now, by my counting, we have 2 left. So let's feel the stretch at the back of the neck first. Feel it come into your mid-back. Soften through the knees. Eye gaze is back towards your thighs. And start to walk forward. Shoulders coming all the way over the heels to hands. Now keep your elbows close to your ribs. So you're going to bend the elbows, push out the heels of your hands, and then walk back again. So I'm going to do that one last time. Bend the knees a little here, and then restack. As we walk down this time, we're going to stay with our tricep press up. So one last time from the chin, not in. Feel the movement through the mid-back. Let the spine roll, keeping the knees soft. Hands come down and walk. One hand at a time. Bring the shoulders over the heels of your hands. Now bring your knees down if you want to. We've got 8 press-ups. Turn your elbows to the back of the room. Breathe in, bend the elbows, and out with a push. So again, your eye gaze is down to the floor. Your ears stay in line with the shoulders. And you don't want your bottom to sink as you do a press-up. You want that back to stay really long. And as you come into your press-up, your body weight shifts forward and you're pushing back through the heels of the hands. 2 more. And your last one. And then stop. Just pull the hips back to the heels and stretch the arms out forwards. Now just if you walk your fingers a little further forward for a deeper stretch into that back area. Nod the chin in, let the head come down to the ground. Right, let's come into our side lying position next. So in your own time, you're just going to roll onto your side. Gosh, it's super warm in here tonight. I'm probably investing in some air conditioning if this weather carries on. Okay, from here, in our side lying position, you can either have a cushion under your head and have the arm forward, or if it's comfortable around your shoulder, extend the arm and turn your palm up to the ceiling. Now your top shoulder needs to be in set position, so we roll the shoulder blade back and pull the shoulder blade down to the back of the ribs. You're gently softening your ribs down and then tucking your tailbone under. Easier to keep the hand on the ground, a little hard with the hand on the hip. Now you're going to lift both legs and we're going to come into our scissor legs. Squeeze both thighs and really reach into your toes. Now without changing the position of your lower back, you're going to breathe in as the legs open and then breathe out as they close. Now you'll feel that when the leg moves behind, you may want to bend the knee. If the knee's bending, don't take the legs as far. Because that means the hamstrings start to take over if the knee bends. The more you keep the legs straight, the more you work through your glutes for the movement. And if you keep tucking your tailbone under, that's going to keep that strength and stability through your core too. There is only about 15 degrees of movement through the hip going backwards. So any further than that, your back will want to arch or your knee will want to bend. So you're just working with that range of movement where you can feel everything stays nice and strong. You're still squeezing the front of your thighs. And then when you come into the middle this time, it's a double leg lift. You're going to lift both legs up and down, up and down. If it feels too much with both legs, just come into a single leg raise. Breathe out with a lift and breathe into lower. So the out breath is always with your effort. If your hand's on the floor, try not to press the fingers into the ground. You want to keep your shoulder relaxed. Back to your scissor legs in the middle. 5 each way. Gently tuck under the tailbone. So you want to feel that when your legs move, your ribs don't push forward. The arch in your back doesn't increase. And you're still squeezing your thighs with straight legs. Once more. And then you rest in the middle, but don't put your feet down. 5 lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and bring the legs down. So a little bit of work for the inner thigh as well as you're pushing that top leg up. Right, let's come into a side plank. We're going to do it with a straight arm. So sometimes we do our side plank in this position, and if you prefer that position, feel free. Or your hand under your shoulder. Bottom knee bends, your top leg straight, and you want to strengthen your shoulder first. So you're going to push the hand into the floor, and you'll feel like that pulls your ribs up. You're going to reach up to the ceiling, and you're just going to lift the hips, so you've got a nice line all the way down your body. Take a little reach over, come back into the centre, and then just lower the hip down. So your hand first, pressing into the ground. Hip pulls up, you've got a nice line all the way down the side. We'll take a big stretch, arm comes back over your shoulder, palm facing forwards, and your option is to add the leg. So from here, when your arm reaches over, you can lift your top leg, bring it back into the centre, and then ease the hip down. Press the hand down first. Breathe out with your lift. Take a big breath in, reach over your head. Breathe out, come back into the centre, and then breath in, lower the hip. 2 more. Press the hand first, lift the hip up, and if the leg feels too much, just stay with the arm movement. One last time. Should we try 3 at the top? If you can, for 3. Come down. Keep lifting up through the shoulders, so you're pushing yourself away from the ground. You feel a little bit of glute work as well as you're holding here. Ease down, and then bring everything down. Should you try it on the other side? No? Can't be going home, you're already at home. Can't be staying at home in uneven. So let's come back into that sideline position. And as we come into our sideline position, just have a glance and check your ankles, knees and hips are in line. Try and turn your palm up to the ceiling so you're not holding onto the ground, and roll back with the top shoulder. Try and shift your hip just a little bit away from your hip away from your rib even, and then draw the abdominals in and feel it lightly on the ground or on the hip a little harder. So start by lifting both legs. Breathing in as your legs open, and breathing out to close. I always find all the sideline work so much harder on this side. And that's what I always demonstrate on the other side. So as you breathe in, keep squeezing the thighs of the legs open, and then breathe out to close. Definitely can't go as far on this side. So again, listen to your body. Do what feels right for your body. If you're really wobbling like I am, just make your movement a little bit smaller. And then your core muscles get stronger, stabilising that position. And then you can challenge them more over time and making that movement bigger. Breathe in through the nose to open and out to close. Squeeze the front of the thighs. Try and relax your neck and your shoulders. I'm wobbling like a big ball of jelly. Okay, once more each way. And then we're going to come into our double leg lifts in the centre. So this time as your legs come in, you're going to hold your feet off the floor, and then use the out breath to lift and the in breath to hover. And you're trying to keep your feet together. You're trying to keep your hips stacked. And a little tuck under with the tailbone the whole way through. Now use your bottom foot to push your top foot up. A little bit of connection to the waist. And keep the legs as straight as you can. 3 more. We're going to come back to our scissor legs. We've got 5 scissor legs in each direction. And then we'll finish with 5 double leg lifts. So hold here. Breathe in and open. Out to close. So working as slowly as you need to control this movement. Try not to let the leg bend as it travels behind. Try not to allow your lower back to arch. And definitely don't push your ribs forwards. You're trying to keep the ribs and hips connected towards each other. And again, we're going to do that one more time. And then from the centre, We've only got 5 double leg lifts. So the out breath, lift and lower. Breathe out, in, out. Just 2 more. And then your last one, and rest. Bend your bottom knee. Knees are still stacked and your top leg is straight. Then gently rise. Option to stay on your elbow. If not, hand right under the shoulder. And you don't want to feel like your shoulders collapse. You're going to push the hand into the floor and really lift the chest and the ribs. Fingers reaching the ceiling. You're going to lift the hip off the ground, press down through the hand, and just take a gentle reach over. Palm facing forward, and then your hip lowers. Stay strong through the shoulder. Feel like your hip lifts that a little bit higher. And then you've got the option of your leg lift. So at the top, if you want to, top leg lifts. And when you lift your leg, you just want your leg to come in line with your hip. Sorry, your shoulder. Now, if you feel you're starting to collapse into your shoulder, press down. Make the shoulder really, really strong. Reach up to the ceiling. And take the arm over. One more time. For 3 this time. Strong through the shoulder. Leg lifts. And you reach over. 3. To center. 2. And one more time. And then rest. Everything gently down. And roll onto your back. So when you're ready from here, as you roll onto your back, just give your wrists a little release. You might want to roll. Roll them in one direction and then roll them around in the other direction. Okay, from here, let's come straight into toe taps. Both knees above the hips. Lower back, gently press into the floor so you're in your imprint. And both hands reaching down to the ankles. Now we're going to lift our upper body. We're going to extend one leg forward. And then we're going to circle the arms and come back into the middle. And the opposite leg, circle and bring the knee back above the hip. Now if it's too much with your head lifted, you can just simply place your head down. And if the head's down, chin's tucked in, and you're still keeping the back of your ribs down towards the ground. If you've got your head lifted, keep squashing your ribs towards your hips. Really lengthen the arms. And as you're moving your arms and your legs, the trunk of your body should stay really, really still. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. A little harder. Leg comes lower. And then pull the knee right back in. To each side. Keep the chin nodded in so you're always looking forward towards your thighs. One more. And then rest your head. Keep the knees above the hips. Keep the lower back down and just come into alternating toe taps. Now the knee wants to stop directly above the hip and you want to feel that lower back is gently down on the ground. So when your legs are moving, your lower back's not lifting. You can take the arms a little wider, turn your palms to the ceiling, knock back in through the chin, keep your shoulders firmly onto the ground. 4 more each side. Try not to let the knee come back over the belly. Oh, that's tough. Your last one here. Both knees in, hug the knees in. Just draw the knees into the chest. Now we're going to try V-sits. What we're going to do from here, have a look. We're going to roll forward and extend the arms and the legs, and then we're going to roll back. So we roll forward, come onto the hips, and then roll back. So your start position's here, and your hands just above your knees. Start from the roll, so your chin tucks in. Gently draw the knees back, and then roll forward and extend both legs. Now extending 2 legs is just 2 legs too many. Just extend 1. Breathe in into your roll. Breathe out. Push one leg forward or both legs. And start to really lift through your chest so you're right up on your sit bones. And when you roll back, you want to feel that C shape in your spine. We're going to go with 8 more. Can you do 8 with the legs straight? Both legs maybe? And at any point if you need less, you can simply come back to those single legs. Tucking the chin as you roll back. Strong out breath as you come forward. And again. And one more time. Let's stay at the top. Right up on your sit bones and pump the arms. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back. And go again. Right up onto the sit bones. One leg or both. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And roll all the way back. Just take your arms back overhead. Shuffle out the screen nearly. So press the arms away, pull your hips away from your ribs. One hip and then the other. So you get a nice stretch in that midsection. That well worked midsection. Okay, from here, hug in the knees and come up to your seated position. So in our seated position, we're going to come back into our rolls. We're going to go about a third of the way down and we're going to add in our arm circles. So you can have a quick look first. The arms start in line with the shoulders. We've got our tailbone tucking under to create a C shape. Your arms don't pass your face, they just reach up, circle round, and then come forwards. So shoulder blades draw down, your tailbone tucks under, and your eye gaze stays forward. Now once you're here, don't let the ribs move. Press your palms down, bring the hands back into the centre, and then roll forward and lengthen. And breath, in as you roll back, out to lift, breath in to pull the arms back into the centre, and then breathe out when you come forwards. In through your nose, out through your mouth, into circle, and then simply breathe out to come forwards. Do you want to add in a leg extension? You can add a single leg extension. And then bend your knee as you come forward. Remember, your tailbone needs to tuck under first. And then feel that you're lengthening all the way back up the spine at the top. Of course, you know your next option. You can lift both legs, you circle the arms, and then bend the knees and come forwards. So single legs or both legs. Think about the ribs when you circle your arms. You don't want to allow your ribs to lift away from the hips. So you almost imagine your ribs are pinned down to the hips and you're just resisting the movement of the arms. Once more. I think one should just about do it. And then come forward and slump. You can tuck in your chin, just relax through the back of the neck and try almost lengthen the back of your neck. And tuck your tailbone under at the same time to get a nice big stretch through that lower back area. Now from here, you're going to take a few stretches just to release some of that hard work. So what I'd like you to do with your feet, staying hip distance apart. If you did our pure stretch class the other day, you'll see me stretch. It's really nice for the shoulder. So you're going to open your left arm. You're going to reach your left arm over to your right foot. Take a hold of your foot. Now push your foot into your hand and pull back with the hand at the same time. As if you're pushing your foot down on the pedal. And tuck in your chin and feel your back rounding. And if you want to deepen this stretch, just straighten your right leg forwards. So you can straighten the leg, keep gently pulling the foot back and pushing the foot away at the same time. And you should feel that right around your shoulder blade area. And then come back into the centre. Bend the knees, bring your right arm over to your left. And then again, once you're here, left hand's on the ground, chin's tucking in, push your foot down as if you push it onto a pedal. Allow a curve to come through your spine so you're rounding your back. You can take that left leg out straight. Keep pushing the foot forward and keep pulling back with your hand at the same time. That should feel lovely. And then you're going to take a little rest in the centre. So let's focus on a couple of hamstring stretches next and the hip flexor stretch. We're going to do this kneeling. If you find it difficult kneeling, feel free to come up to standing. We're going to have both knees underneath our hips. Now your toes can be tucked or flat, whatever feels more comfortable. And we're going to bring our right leg forward. So you're going to extend your right leg. You're going to gently press the knee down, so you're trying to get the leg straight, and then you're going to lift the chest as high as you can. Now from here, keeping the chest high, you're going to tip forwards. You're going to feel like your bottom's pushing to the back of the room, and you're trying to make sure the knee doesn't bend. Now you might want to bring your hands onto your thigh, or down towards the floor, and keep pushing your ribcage forward. So if you're standing, stay where you are. If you are standing, you're in this position. Back knee's bent, and again, you've still got that front leg straight. Hands are on the thigh. Now what we're going to do is take our hands to the outside of our shin. So your hands come further across, maybe down towards the ground, and again, push your chest forward, make the back really long. And again, just take a little bit of a movement in your hips from side to side and find the part that needs stretching the most. Perfect. So from there, come into the centre, bend your front knee, and then bring your shoulders right up above the hips. If you're standing, it's a lunge position. Now you're going to tuck under your tailbone. You're going to keep your hips forward, and then try and almost point your hip bones up to the ceiling. So while you're pointing your hip bones up towards the ceiling, it deepens the stretch here. Lift the ribs and draw the shoulders back. Now as you breathe in, lift both arms. Try and touch the ceiling and side bend gently over to your right. So you're bending towards the knee that's at the front. And then if you can, a little turn of your head up towards your elbow to really deepen that stretch. And then come back into centre, bring the arms down, changing your legs. So your opposite leg forward. And again, we're looking for the straight leg first. So try not to lean forward until you've got the legs straight. Put your hands on your hips and square the hips to the front. And as you lean forward, try and keep the hips square. If you're tight with the outer edge of your hamstring, you'll feel the hips almost twist to the side. So you're working really hard to keep the hip bones forward. You might not tip as far forward, but get a much deeper stretch into the thigh. Hands can come down to the thigh, lightly, you're not pushing onto the leg, or down to the ground. Trying to make your back a little longer. And then to deepen that stretch, you can bring both hands to the outside of your calf, or down to the floor. Push your bottom back, and then lift your ribcage up, and use lots of breath. And then when you're ready, hands come into the centre, and ease back up. Bend your front knee. Now from here, if you feel your hips tilt forward, the hip flex is quite tight. So you want to tuck under the tailbone first, so we're opening this area. And then as you let your weight come forward, you should feel the stretch instantly down the front of this thigh. Ribs square to the side. Tailbone keeps tucking under. And then roll the shoulders back. And as you breathe in, lift the arms. As you breathe out, you can sink deeper into your hips. And then you're going to bend over towards your bent knee. So you've got your left leg forward, so a little side bend to the left. Don't go too far, and just feel that stretch gently increase. Then turn the eye gaze up towards the elbow. And then when you're ready, back into the centre. Both hands onto your bent knee. Bring your weight forward and step your feet together. So from here, as you rise, you can take a nice big breath in. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Let your ribs lift right up off your hips. And then just simply pull the shoulder blades back and right down to the back of your ribs. Once more, breathe in. Keep the shoulder blades down. And then breathe out, pull the shoulder blades down even more. Now let the shoulders lift. And let them go. And once more, breathing in and letting it go. And well done, everybody. This dog knows when we've finished teaching. Thanks, everybody. I'll just unmute you all. Oh, gosh, that was long tonight. All right, Paps, your hair's still in perfect place, don't worry.
Thanks, Kerry, that was great.
Was that hard enough for you all?